And now joining us, we have Susan and Tommy, and they are from Farm Cafe. And Farm Cafe is an absolutely incredible thing here in the High Country. Remind our viewers just a little bit about what it is if they've never heard of it.
Go ahead, Susan.
Well, hopefully somebody's heard of it. Farm Cafe is downtown, right across the street from the Mass store. It's where the old Boone Drug used to be. It stands for Feed All Regardless of Means. That's what the farm is. And it's a place where anybody can run in, get some lunch. It's open for lunch 5 days a week. And it's also the Feed All Regardless of Means part means that anybody can eat there, whether they have money or not.
Fantastic. What a neat idea. How did you guys come up with this?
It's actually based on, it was a model that was started in Utah. One
world, everybody
One
eats.
world, everybody eats. So we're part of a group across the country that are modeling a different way of doing business and feeding persons who have food insecurity. And in this state, it's about 28% are in food insecurity in some way. And a lot of those are children, and a lot of those are elderly who don't know where their next meal is coming from. And in this town, at the end of the month, a lot of those are students.
Right.
And so this model, folks out at High Country UCC, Renee Bowman, who is our amazing chef, had this idea, found this model, and dreamed of how it could be here in the High Country. And it's been in place almost 2 years. We're very excited about that, and we have about 75 people average every day that come in and get a meal, and about 15% of those, 11 to 15%, are experiencing some sort of food insecurity.
Wow.
And so they either volunteer a couple hours and pay for their meal that way, but we don't ask any questions. If somebody says, I need a meal, we feed them. And the way it works is the folks who come in, like me, how I got started in it, I was coming in every day because it's great food. And it's quick. It can be, or you can sit there and have a great conversation or a meeting or those sorts of things. And so you pay a suggested donation for a small plate, $5 to $7, for a lunch plate, $8 to $10. And if you pay a little bit more, you're actually helping people. You're actually paying it forward. So that's what we hope people will do. Most people can come in, get a great meal, salad, entree, dessert, couple of sides, coffee, tea, all included. And it's wonderful food. Yesterday was pork chops. What's today?
Today is homemade chicken and dumplings.
Oh.
And if you're vegetarian, it's a vegetable stew with dumplings.
Yeah.
Roasted broccoli, mixed salad, and cranberry and almond cookies.
Oh my goodness.
And I'm going right after this.
I think we should all go right after this. That sounds wonderful.
Yeah.
So every day, another delicious meal, it sounds like.
Another
it's
delicious
different.
meal. It's healthy, it's good as much as possible, it's local, and you're eating a great meal and you're helping folks. Great food for a great cause. And
Wonderful.
we've got some really cool events coming up too that
That's
we wanted
what I
to share
hear.
with some
Tell us
folks.
what 2014 looks like.
So coming up February 28th, there's a fundraiser happening, or a benefit dinner happening with the Ale House in Blowing Rock. And if you haven't been to the Ale House, it's a wonderful little place there on Sunset, I believe. And they're throwing a benefit dinner where half of the proceeds will go to the Farm Cafe. It's $100 per ticket for a 4-course dinner. Each course will be paired with a beer there, and sounds great. And it's only 36 people. We've only got room for 36 people.
Okay.
So get your tickets soon. And so we're going to have that, and half of that, everybody will get one of these. This is a new thing coming out too. This is the frequent donor card. You know how most restaurants, or many restaurants, will have a frequent diner card. You'll get it punched. Well, we're already giving away free food for folks who need it. So what we did was we have wonderful sponsors: Appalachian Mountain Brewery, Everybody Massage, Galileo's, Haircut 101, The Incredible Toy Company, River and Earth Adventures are our sponsors for this program. So instead of getting a discount or a meal from the Farm Cafe, you get this. If you help with 50 meals, 50 points gets you $50, and you'll get it signed by the staff. You'll take this card to one of our sponsors, and they will give you a discount or some really cool things, and you can find out more about that on the website.
Fantastic. What a neat idea.
Yeah.
It's
Very
fun.
cool.
It's a great way to involve lots of other local businesses as well. You know, we all support each other. It's
Right.
wonderful.
Absolutely.
And then we have a great big signature fundraiser coming up. We're hoping it's going to be an annual event. It's one of the tagline for the Farm Cafe is real good food. This is going to be a real good party, and it's going to be really fun. It's going to be April 4th. We have live band here, local band, Soul Benefactor. Appalachian Mountain Brewery is one of our sponsors. We're going to have heavy hors d'oeuvres. It's going to be here at the Harvest House from 7 to 11.
The Harvest House over on Boone Heights Drive
a Harvest
on
House
April 4th.
Yes. Right. And what else? Oh, silent and live auction with lots of wonderful things that have been donated from local area businesses. Plus, we hope to have an awful lot of art there too that people can bid on, silent and live. So it'll be fun. Soul Benefactor is a great live band. They've got horns there, do covers. It'll be really fun.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
So we're feeding lots of folks, and the way that happens is through these benefits, like the Ale House benefit on February 25th, the thing on the Real Good Party on April 4th, and the other way that people can help is just come in, have a great meal, pay a little extra, and that helps to feed folks who are food insecure as well. And we're trying to really alleviate food insecurity in the high country.
And here's a cool thing that they do too. They have these tokens that are wooden. They're, a long time ago people had wooden nickels.
Right.
These are tokens. You can buy them at the cafe for $10. Then you have a token. You can either use it yourself or you can give it away. So if you see someone out and about that you think looks like they could use a meal, you can give them that token, and then they can go in and get a meal, and it's paying it forward.
Fantastic.
So that's a cool thing too.
I think this is such a neat idea, and I love that we have it right here in the High Country, right on King Street. Easy.
Yeah, it's wonderful, and you see so many people there when you go. You see a lot of your friends and stuff.
I was going to say, you guys must have a lot of
And I'm there every day,
customers.
so if people want to have lunch with me, I'm there almost every day.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, Susan, you are the garden director. Talk to us
Yes.
a little bit about the garden and how that ties into the restaurant.
The garden was an idea, just sort of a poof idea, like, oh, I wonder if we could have a garden. And it has since grown into a half an acre garden. Last year was the first year that it was in the ground. It is in Valley Cruces. It's right behind the original Mass store in Valley Cruces, so it's in a beautiful, beautiful setting. And everything we raise, we give straight to the cafe. It's all organic, and all the seeds are heirloom varieties and all organic. Those are all donated from the Mass store. We also had Annie's Heirloom Seeds donate seeds to us this year, so we'll be planting some of those too. And it's from the air. It's in the shape of a great big butterfly wing, and that was to draw attention to pollinators that are dying, that we need, especially the monarch butterfly, for a pollinator. But anyway, we need pollinators to have food, because if we don't have pollinators, we're not going to have food.
Right.
So I'm an artist, and that was just one of the things I wanted to do. So there's not one straight row in the whole garden. So it's interesting to just come walk through it, and I invite anybody to come walk through the gate. If I'm not there, just open the gate, close the gate, so we don't don't get deer. But just come on by whenever. You can also volunteer their time and then earn meals at the cafe. So it's a beautiful spot. I'm so glad.
And it's right behind.
And it's right behind the original Mass store, right there in Valley Cruces, right at the end of the parking lot. So Can't miss it.
Fantastic. So all of this food is really good quality that's being served.
Yes, yes.
Yes, and Renee, as we said, is an amazing chef. She's worked at a number of the great restaurants up in the area and brings her skills and abilities. Every day she just kind of creates the meal out of what's available locally, we do buy food from some purveyors. We have to do that as well. But the more, the food is excellent, and it's always a great meal. As we said earlier, you can sit in there, have a meeting, just meet new folks. And the cool thing about it is, one of the best things about it is, you don't know who's in there with food insecurity. You don't know who's not able to pay for their meal. Everybody's equal in the cafe. And that's been one of the great things about it is, unlike a typical soup kitchen where obviously folks are there, and it's primarily folks who are experiencing food insecurity. At Farm Cafe and in this model where it's emerging around the country, it's really about the community and the community that's formed of the people just being there together. It doesn't differentiate. And so that's one of the wonderful things about it. We don't ask questions. We don't require paperwork for people to get a good meal. They can just come in and say, today I need a meal, and we'll feed them. Or folks can come in and pay for their meal.
Right.
And you sit next to them and get to know them. It's such a cool concept. So we invite everybody to come down to the cafe. And right now, during the winter, we're open for lunch 5 days a week, 11 to 2. In April, I believe, we open back up on Saturdays as well, and stay that way through December. So.
Fantastic.
They're always looking for volunteers too,
Yes.
in the cafe and also in the garden. And you know, certain groups will have, you know, like I go to church at St. Luke's Episcopal Church. We have St. Luke's Saturdays. So once a month, you know, we will go over when they're open on Saturdays, and you know, people from our congregation go, or you know, groups from the high school will go, or groups from anywhere. You know, so you can do that too. So you meet a lot of different people doing, you know, working there, eating there, volunteering there. You know, it's all about the community. It's great.
Fantastic. Well, it sounds like a wonderful place to stop by. And remind us one more time exactly where you're located.
617 West King Street. So it's in the historic Boone Drug space that's downtown. And come on, we're still using the lunch counter that's been there forever. And it's again, as it always has been in Boone, a place for people to gather. And we were so lucky to get that space and work with Boone Drug on that. And we invite everybody to come down and to participate in the things that are coming up that will pay it forward, that great food for a great cause.
Wonderful. Well, thank you guys so much for coming in to talk with us today.
Thank you for having
Thank
us.
you.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
And we will be back right after these messages with more of the Mountain Television Network.